because he signed a contract. So a paladin, as much as he might not like it, would have to uphold it. And instead he got really pissed and started to threaten me and yell at me, and so he lost his paladin powers. It was fantastic. Oh, gosh. I'm not planning on spending this much time talking about that, but oh well. But what I mostly played, pen and paper, I played the most was a pen and paper RPG developed by my father. My father was, and still is, even though he doesn't really have the time to anymore, a pen and paper RPG fanatic. And he actually wrote his own book, got it published and everything. Didn't sell too well. There's like boxes of it in the garage. I have like 3 of them in my sock drawer. But it was a pretty decent RPG. I had a lot of stuff in it that I liked better than what Dungeons & Dragons, especially what Dungeons & Dragons did back when he wrote it. He wrote it before 3rd edition. So... I think he wrote it before 2nd edition. I'm not sure, but there wasn't a lot of multi-classing. I don't think there was any multi-classing when he wrote it, or there wasn't much, or something like that. Yeah, actually, you know what? Yeah, I think it was before 2nd edition, and there was no multi-classing, and he didn't like that because he thought realistically there's a lot of people who would be part warrior and part thief. You know, someone that knows thief skills and warrior skills, or perhaps a warrior that dabbles in the art of the arcane. So, one of the changes he made, the game was called Monsters and Slayers, and yeah, I know, very original name, yes. You were a slayer. You were part of a guild called the Slayers, and what was really neat about that is that, you were part of this guild in this town, and people would come to you for contracts, like, hey, so-and-so was kidnapped, can you please go rescue them, etc., etc. And what would happen is they'd go to the Slayers Guild. The Slayers Guild would have a set contract fee, depending on how hard they thought the mission was. And what would happen is, since you're part of the guild would go to you and say, okay, this is the guy. This is what he wants you to do. Go talk to him, and you know, get rolling on it, get cracking on it. Here, this is your guild fee, and here's your. Okay, you were always given like half or a third up front so that you could go buy equipment, which was really cool because most quests in D&D didn't work like that, and it made perfect sense that if you're gonna go rescue someone's kid, you might need some upfront money. So he took that into account, and they also paid for an insurance policy, which was basically like 1,000 gold or so that was held by the guild, and basically if you went to go rescue or go on a mission and you didn't come back, the guild would use this 1,000 or so gold to hire a party to go look for you. It was like an insurance policy. And the guy who was hiring the Slayers Guild would usually cover the insurance. Now, he covered like a certain amount, and then you could add to it over time if you wanted. Like, like it made perfect sense. I think my my rescue fund was like 3,000 gold because I was like, if I'm not coming back, I want you sending an army after me. But one of the coolest things about it is that you were a Slayer, and the Slayer was trained in thieving, warrior skills, and mage skills, and you started the game off as level 1 in all 3 of those classes, and you could just choose what to level up by what you did. In other words, if you cast a spell, you got experience towards your mage class. If you killed something with a sword, you got experience towards your warrior class. If you snuck around, you got experience towards your thief class. And you could turn yourself into, say, a pure thief just by using thieving skills and backstabbing and things like that, or a pure magician by doing nothing but casting magic, and you would level up faster that way. Or you could be a multi-class character, which D&D didn't have at the time. Yeah, I think that's it, folks. I don't think there's anything else to fight here, which is really, really sad. Unless I like save the game, exit, and go back in, maybe, because I really wanted to level up at least once and collect a lot of money. And another thing he did was the armor system. In Dungeons & Dragons, it has a really weird armor system. Basically, armor affects how hard it is to hit you. You know, if someone needs an 8 to hit you and you wear chainmail, they now need a 12 to hit you. But if they roll that 12, you take full damage, no matter what kind of armor you're wearing. It just makes you harder to hit. He didn't think that was very realistic. He thought it should be more like armor reduces the amount of damage you take. So if you wore leather armor, it would reduce, say, 6 points of damage from whenever you got hit. If you had chainmail, it would reduce 9 points of damage whenever you got hit. So you wouldn't be any harder to hit, but when they did hit you, you would take less damage, which makes a lot of sense, I think. Hang on, folks. I'll be right back. All right, let's see if this worked. He also only used 6-sided dice. He didn't like the idea that Dungeons & Dragons had like 10-sided dice and 20-sided dice and all these weird different types of dice. So everything ran on the 6-sided dice system. Yay! I think it worked. It worked. Yay! So everything worked on the 6-sided dice system. It was really fun. It was lots of fun. Because my father was an excellent GM, and I loved my character, and I ended up getting a lot stronger, a lot faster than I should have, because I made some really dumb decisions and somehow survived them. But yeah, it was good times. In fact, if I ever started doing a pen and paper RPG again, I might choose that one. I like D&D now. D&D is improved a lot. Well, at least version 3 did. I don't think I'd want to play version 4 because a lot of people hate it. But there are some things in Monsters and Slayers that have done so much better, like the armor system, the fact that you're part of the Slayers Guild. I really like that idea. And it did spells the same way Dungeons & Dragons did, I believe, where you had to memorize the spells. Yeah, so played that game a lot when I was younger. You know what? I should equip the treasure magnet on Goofy. Let's see, abilities, Goofy. Equip. All right, good. Right, it all disappeared. But, gosh, I'm so nostalgic for that game now. Whoopsie. Ow! Ah, my X button's sticking. No, don't stick. Don't stick, X button. Oh. Bam! Take that. So I do love pen and paper RPGs, but only when... The big problem with pen and paper RPGs is you have two types of people that I don't like. Okay, there's three types of people. There are the people who don't take it seriously enough, and they'll do stupid stuff just because they think it's funny. Like, okay, I'm gonna go attack my teammate. Why? Because I want to. It's an RPG. I can do whatever I want, and I want to do that. I hate that. I really hate that. It's so dumb. And even worse are the people who take it too seriously. The people who, and I kid you not, when one of their characters dies, they turn over the table because they're so angry, and they start yelling how unfair it is, and blah 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 blah. Yeah. And those sadly seem to be more prevalent in the earlier form. And then there's the third person who, like me, hopefully, know the proper level to invest into it. Invest into it that you take it seriously, that you actually roleplay your character, you pretend to be your character, you do what your character would do, but you don't take it so seriously that if your character happens to die or you make a mistake, that you lose sleep over it. Or you ruin everyone else's night because of it. Or most importantly, you blame the GM for your mistakes. Oh, gosh. Was I ever a GM? Once. Never again. I was a GM once. Never, ever again. But yeah, so that's that one. Oh. Come on, monkey. So, let's see. How close am I to leveling up? 169, 455. Oh, because you just leveled up, I think. Yeah. 270. We'll at least get Donald and Sora up one more, maybe two. I'm not getting a whole bunch of experience off of this. I'm getting a lot of money. Alright, so the next thing. Hang on, let me see how much experience we get off of this. See, that was only like 2. Yeah, so. Oh, hello. I'll take those. So, yeah, I'm not getting a whole bunch of experience off these guys. Just, ow! 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 Did you cut that out? So I'll level up like one more time. No, no one touch that banana peel. Like I just did. Don't touch the banana peel like I just did. You dirty tricksters, you. Alright, what's the next thing? Military. Someone said that they didn't know I was in the military and they wanted me to talk about it. Why I joined, what did I do when I got there, fun stories, that kind of stuff. And I have way more than I could tell in just one grind session, but I'll choose a couple. I'll start off with why and when I decided to join. I actually joined the National Guard, which, for those of you who don't know what the National Guard is, in America they have, they have 3 things. They have active duty military, they have Army Reserve, which is, you're technically part of the military, but you live a normal life, and then 1 week in a month you go do drill, and 2 weeks out of the year you go do training, and if they ever need you for anything, they call you up. And then they have National Guard, which is pretty much the exact same. Hang on. They said I gotta do fire.
See ya.
Oh, I cast the wrong one, didn't I? Darn it. Let's see if you can come back. But you have to look at them and see what they're doing to make sure to know which one to cast on them. Anyway, and then you have National Guard, which is a lot like Army Reserve with a couple exceptions. One, Army Reserve has no combat units. National Guard does. In other words, Army Reserve doesn't have infantry, the people that actually are supposed to go on the ground and shoot things. They have all support groups, which is like medics, mechanics, things like that. National Guard has all types. And National Guard is controlled by the state. America, most of you should know, is divided up into states. And the state, like, for example, it's not the American National Guard, it's the Texas National Guard. And the state will use them for flood control or whatever, unless the federal government needs them, and then the federal government will take over. I joined the National Guard because I wanted money for college. They were doing really, really good recruitment bonuses. You got like an $8,000 bonus, and you had 100% tuition paid for school. 100% tuition paid, as long as you signed up for 6 years in the National Guard.